Now, a year ago today, Florida was dealing with Hurricane Irma. It was the first major hurricane to threaten the Suncoast in 13 years. Irma was a Category 4 storm when it hit the Florida Keys. The Suncoast was fortunate in comparison to places like the Keys and where it made its second landfall on Marco Island. But still, the storm left some devastated damage and power outages to residents here. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now with a look back at the iconic storm and explains what we've learned since then. Jess?
Scott, if Hurricane Irma had shifted just 50 miles in the Gulf before it came ashore, the Suncoast would have seen the eye of it. It was a close call as we prepared for our Category 4 hurricane, but what we got was much more manageable.
September 10th, 2017. Thousands of Floridians packed their bags and headed north on I-75, only to be met with traffic jams and fuel shortages.
It's scary because you don't know what you're going to come back to if you come back to anything.
Gas wasn't the only scarcity. Water was in short supply. Plywood and generators were hard to find.
People are in a panic because we have nothing in stock for what they want.
Shelters in both counties were jam-packed, and ABC 7 had wall-to-wall coverage that thousands streamed from their evacuation sites.
This is a monster of a storm which is expanding its wind field right now.
The storm came and went, taking down trees and leaving hundreds of thousands of people without power for days, some weeks.
A lot of the power outages that happened were because of large trees that had root systems that were softened because of the 2 weeks of rain prior to Irma, and the trees toppled over.
It wasn't the storm itself, but the aftermath, specifically the power outages. The Sarasota County Emergency Management Chief, Ed McCrane, will remember the most about the storm.
Before FPL can get to those power lines, they had to go in there with debris companies, cranes, cut their way in before they could even restore the power. So that's what took the majority of the time.
Although the county can't prevent power outages from happening, there are a list of other issues that have been resolved since Irma. There are a total of 93 changes being made. About 90% of them are already completed.
We created a transportation-dependent program where people can actually either ride a bus from a rally point to an evacuation center or register online to be picked up at their home. We've made all evacuation centers pet-friendly because they showed up at those anyway, so we planned for that now.
In Manatee County, they dealt with a lot of first-time experiences during Irma.
First time ever we evacuated Manatee Memorial. First time ever we opened 25 shelters. We've maybe opened most 6 at any given time. First time ever that we had that amount of power outage for that amount of time.
Like Sarasota, Manatee County has looked into what went right and what went wrong and are in the process of making the necessary changes.
Our area is still feeling the financial impact from the storm, with city and county governments waiting for FEMA reimbursements. We'll have that story tonight at 7 o'clock. Scott.
All right. Thank you so much, Jess.